Hey everyone, welcome back to Firsthand Globetrotting. I'm here today to show you my first ever cruise experience. I'm in Baltimore and about to get on board the Carnival Legend. This is going to be a completely new type of travel for me. The Legend isn't a huge ship, but I've only ever seen cruise ships from a distance, so it's even bigger than I expected now that I'm up close. As soon as I stepped from the cruise terminal onto the ship, the sights and sounds and excitement hit me right away. The lobby was already buzzing with activity as soon as I got on board. As I made my way to my room on the first floor, the hallways were a little thinner than I'm used to, but honestly, not all that different than what you might see in any random hotel that you're at. What I did notice right away was that all the hallways had wallpaper showing off these different mythical scenes. It makes sense. The ship's called the Legend, so it had a legendary theme. This is going to be my home for the next 7 nights, so I'm pretty excited to look around and start exploring. When I got to my stateroom, it was small, but honestly not as small as I was expecting. It kind of reminded me of an old casino hotel, trying hard but a little bit past its prime. I got one of the smallest and cheapest rooms on the first floor of the ship. I wasn't picky and just wanted to be on board. But what caught my eye was the life jacket sign on the closet doors. Sure enough, when I opened it up, there were a bunch of life jackets on the top shelf. I think it's going to take me some time to wrap my head around the fact that this is a boat and not a regular hotel room. The life jackets totally make sense out on the water. I didn't go with the absolutely cheapest room. I did at least get one with an ocean view. But as you can tell from my view of the onions being loaded onto the ship, I definitely didn't go with the most luxurious option either. I kept it simple and basic. I'm coming into this with a completely open mind. Like the towel on the bed says, I'm going to choose fun and see if this whole cruising life is for me or not. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm sailing right before Christmas, so there's a big Christmas tree and menorah in the lobby. I'm expecting a lot of holiday-themed things on this trip. Honestly, I was a little bit overwhelmed and didn't really know where I should even start. If what I'm showing you seems a little bit chaotic and unplanned, that's because it is. So I took a few minutes to look over the deck plan and get my bearings, and then headed up to one of the upper decks to see the outdoor area. But remember, this is Baltimore in December, not a nice warm Florida port, so no one was brave enough to go for a swim yet. Hopefully it warms up as we get a little further down south. It definitely wasn't anywhere close to beach weather yet, so you need to be pretty brave to even be outside right now. But part of the pool area is covered and there's a little outdoor stage. It was a little more lively over here, so I wasn't the only person up on the pool deck. After today, I have 2 more days at sea. Then the next 3 days we visit 3 different islands in the Bahamas. Then 2 more days at sea to get home. I'm really looking forward to it. Above the lobby, there's a big central atrium that extends nearly all the way up, and you can see a huge mural as you ride the elevator between floors. Mostly, I just spent the first few hours on the ship looking around and getting to know my way around. Everyone on the ship gets a set seating time in Truffles, the main dining room, for dinner. When my time came around, I headed over to the restaurant and settled in at my table. All of your food is included in the cruise price, and every dinner is multiple courses. I started with roasted duck rolls as my appetizer, which were really good, and then a Caesar salad for my next course. I got the barbecue salmon as my main dish, and it even had an onion ring on top. The food was better than I expected, and the service team was amazing. They'll be serving me all week long. I have a feeling I'm going to eat a lot more desserts than I usually do. Tonight, I kept it simple with cheesecake with strawberry sauce. After dinner, the main lobby was full of activity. I noticed that even Santa had booked a vacation on the Carnival Legend. Today was mostly a blur, but I think I figured out the ship and I'll have a good few days at sea coming up. I finished off my first night on the ship mostly just relaxing near the lobby, taking in the energy and the excitement. So far, I'm having a great time. I hope the next few days are just as good. I woke up on day 2 of my cruise well rested and with more of a plan about how I wanted to explore the ship and spend my day. Looking out my window, it was overcast and wavy out there. The boat was rocking a lot more than I expected. Not sure if this is how a cruise normally feels. You have 2 options for breakfast. You can either eat at the breakfast buffet upstairs or order a la carte in the main dining room. I decided to have my breakfast at Truffles. Just like with all the food on the cruise, you can order as much or as little as you want. I had some bacon and hash brown potatoes, but the main event was the smoked salmon and cream cheese on a bagel. I can tell that we're sailing south because the weather is getting sunnier and warmer by the hour. I wouldn't say that it's swimming weather yet, but it's getting closer. One of the pools was covered up and closed. It was open yesterday when it was even colder, so maybe it's because there were too many waves and it wouldn't be safe. But the other pool was still open, and it seemed to have even bigger waves splashing around in it. It was like a wave pool at a water park. I couldn't believe it. I talked to a few different people who go on a lot of cruises, and they said that this has been the rockiest sailing they've ever been on. So I guess I picked an interesting first cruise. If I can handle this, I can probably handle any cruise. There were definitely a lot more people up on the pool deck with me, enjoying the fresh air. They even had a DJ playing in the covered area, with people listening on loungers. I don't think many people needed towels today, but one interesting thing is that the towel desk had what I can only describe as a scarecrow towel Santa guarding the towel animals behind him. For lunch, the big buffet is one option, but they also have a few made-to-order counter-service restaurants by the pool. One of them is Guy's Burger Joint, from the mayor of Flavortown himself, Guy Fieri. I don't know what it is, I haven't even seen many of the shows he's on, but I'm always willing to give his restaurants a shot. Of all the celebrity chefs, something about him just speaks to me. If you had asked me a year ago if I thought I'd be eating a Guy Fieri burger while staring out over the ocean, I would have said you're crazy, but here I am. Looking over the railing, it's really just open ocean as far as you can see in every direction. I know we're headed south, but other than the water and the waves everywhere, you don't have any landmarks to give you hints about where you are. There were a few brave people hanging out in the hot tub, but the pools were still pretty much completely empty. Even though it's getting warmer, no one has been ready to start swimming yet, maybe tomorrow. I popped back to my room to grab some things, and when I looked out my window, it seemed like the waves were getting bigger and bigger every minute. You can see the white caps on the waves out there, and some of them are getting pretty high. It makes the ones I saw this morning seem tiny by comparison. I've noticed a lot fewer people walking around the ship today, and overheard people saying that their friends and family were back in their staterooms because the motion has been making them feel so queasy. Overall, I think I've been handling it pretty well. I definitely feel things rocking back and forth, and it's a really unusual feeling, but it's not really stopping me from doing anything. As I was walking around the ship, I noticed a rubber duck with a tag on it hidden in some of the decorations in one of the hallways. I didn't know it before I got on, but I guess hiding rubber ducks around cruise ships is a thing people do. Kind of a fun idea, and I like that I'm learning about these cruising traditions. For dinner, I was back in Truffles at the same table with my same amazing serving staff. But there were a lot fewer people than last night. I'm guessing a lot of seasick people tonight. For my appetizer, I went with something I've never eaten before, but have always been interested to try: escargot. Honestly, the garlic and butter and seasoning make it so that you can't even taste the snails. I actually got a second appetizer today, tuna crudo. The tuna was really nice, and the wontons and jalapeno and citrus and herbs added some great flavors and texture to it. For my main dish, I went with the shrimp and fish cakes. I have a feeling I'm going to be eating a lot of seafood on this cruise. So many great options. The restaurant staff have been giving us amazing service all night long, but if that wasn't already enough, they even broke out into a dance routine partway through the dinner service. The maitre d' was even in the middle singing for the crowd. I was already impressed with the service, but this was another nice added touch. And you know I couldn't just leave after their performance, so I finished things off with a Grand Marnier soufflé for my dessert. After dinner, I went to Follies, the on-ship theater where they have their big shows and live entertainment throughout the week. It looks like they have a different show every night, which should be fun. Before the show started, they announced that they'd be doing a modified version of the show where the performers just stand or sit, no big dance routines. Okay, so it's definitely not just me. The boat must really be moving a lot if they have to cut back on the show. The show was The Brits, with classic songs by British bands. They were all songs from before my time, but I definitely recognized some of them, and they did a good job on the show considering the circumstances. After the show, I walked around a little bit and relaxed in the lobby, but I headed back to my room pretty early so that I could get rocked to sleep by the waves. And that's the end of my first 2 days on the Carnival Legend and the first part of this video series. But don't worry, I have a lot more to show you. I still have so much of the ship left to explore on the sea days, 3 amazing ports to stop at in the Bahamas, and lots of onboard activities to keep me entertained. I'll put links down in the description to my other videos about this cruise. So far, I'm having a fun time on my first cruise experience. The ship's moving a lot, and it's still pretty cold, but I'm making the most of it and embracing cruise life. If you have questions about anything I've done so far, ask me in the comments. And while you're at it, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see what I'm up to now, I'm firsthand globetrotting on Instagram. Follow me on there. And don't forget, it's an incredible world out there, so pick up your passport and do some firsthand globetrotting of your own.